everyone, welcome back to another video, and in today's video I am letting you guys take control, which is something I might regret. So I've been seeing a lot of videos on YouTube and on the internet about Instagram pics my makeup or Instagram pics my whatever, and some people have gone as far as letting Tinder pick their stuff, so I thought why not let you guys pick what I draw today and what with. I also got a lot of new stuff in the past couple of weeks from a bunch of companies and a bunch of stuff that I myself have bought that I still haven't used or shown you guys my first impressions, so I thought it'd be a great opportunity to put those materials up to the test. So I went onto the Instagrams over here on my phone and I put a couple of polls up, and we're gonna see what the results were for each one. So the first question I put up was, where should I draw? Or what should I draw on, basically. So I asked if you guys prefer the sketchbook or for me to draw on paper, so separate pieces of paper, and you guys opted for sketchbook, which is risky because not all materials go very well with the sketchbook paper that I have, so I might have to improvise some stuff coming up. So then I asked what size you wanted, so either an A4 sketchbook or an A5 sketchbook, and 55% of you chose A5, so we're going with a little one. So then I asked what I should draw with, and I asked if you guys preferred paints or markers and pencils, and 64% of you preferred paint. So then I asked gouache or watercolors, and you guys chose watercolors by 57%, which is pretty cool because I really want to try out my new watercolors from Art and Fly, so that's cool, thank you. And then I asked if I was allowed fine liners for the line art or anything that I might need fine liners for, considering I'm using watercolors. You guys were very nice and said yes, 86% of you. Nice. Then I asked what kind of color vibe we should go for, what kind of hue. So I laid down a bunch of colors in a rainbow formation and put a little slidey thing that Instagram allows you, and you guys went for like a cool tone vibe situation, so like bluish, purplish color. That was the most, well, the average answer, I guess. And then after that I asked if I should use a reference picture or draw something out of my head, and this one was pretty tight the whole time, but by the end 53% of you preferred a reference picture. It was still quite tight there, but you know, reference picture won by 3%, so reference picture it is. And then I asked what are we painting, which is, you know, a valid question. And I put a landscape or a human, and 72% of you said human, so human it is. And then, considering you guys said human, I asked should I draw a full body or a half body / portrait, and half body and portrait won by 61%, which is honestly not what I was expecting. I expected you guys to really screw me over and say full body, but thank you. And then for the last one, I wanted to know what kind of sort of vibe person I'd draw, and I put a little slidey thing again for the gender thing, so I put down like strongly female, and at the top strongly masculine, and then like kind of in the middle is like the gray area, the kind of non-binary area, and people chose kind of the middle between non-binary and feminine, so I guess we're gonna go for a sort of the average female, I think, is what we're going for. So with all this being said, let's go right on into the drawing part of this video. Alright everyone, so I laid out all of the products and stuff that you chose for me to use, and I was having a bit of a battle with myself about what paper I would draw on, because you guys said sketchbook, but I only had like one watercolor sketchbook that was, you know, watercolor proof. I feel like all the other ones would end up being really bad in terms of the mediums that you chose. So I chose to use this watercolor sketchbook, even though it's not exactly A5. It's like a weird size. I don't know, but anyway, I decided to swatch all of the materials that I was going to use, especially try out these water brushes from Art and Fly, as well as my new watercolors from Art and Fly as well. I thought I'd swatch these and everything else in a separate sketchbook, just so I wouldn't ruin my watercolor sketchbook. So yeah, I'm also going to try out these white jelly roll pens, not jelly roll pens, but the white ink pens from Art and Fly, as well as the Fineliners. So yeah, it's pretty much a review video today. It's a like first impressions video, so that's pretty cool. So I tried out these watercolors, and first impression, honestly, the colors are so vibrant. It is like unreal. You guys can see here from the clip, they are so amazing. They're just not watery and ashy or anything, or dusty. They are completely like just so saturated and beautiful, and blending is amazing. Like it does what it's supposed to do. It's amazing. And I'll say as well, like they work beautifully with the brushes that Artenfly sent me, like these water brushes. They're really good. I will say in terms of the brushes, like the little squeezy bit is in a very weird place. Like it's not exactly where I normally hold a paintbrush or a pencil, but I mean, it wasn't really an issue. It was just unusual. Yeah, after that I went over onto Pinterest, as you guys voted for a reference picture. And I started scrolling down my feed and nothing really popped out, so I went over into my boards that I already had in my Pinterest that I have too many of. And I scrolled down until I saw something or someone that kind of fit what you guys voted for. So like kind of like a female, but like kind of not too feminine. And I found this picture that I've had in my to draw kind of list for a while, and I thought it was perfect for this. I thought I'd also draw like a very wintry kind of scene, like a cold scene, because you guys voted for like a bluish tone hue. So I thought, you know, that's cold colors. Let's go for like a beanie and a very warm jacket. And it's also kind of like my scene. I love the cold, so it was great. It all just worked very well together. So I sketched out the drawing in my pencil first, so you know everything was where it should be, and I started sketching out this girl, and yeah, I kind of decided to also add a little background so I could make use of the colors that I had in my watercolor pan. So I decided to add like some little clouds in the back and stuff. And when I started drawing the beanie, I kind of drew it as it was in the reference picture, but I really wasn't liking this kind of Smurf aesthetic that was happening, unfortunately. So I decided to go for like just a regular fluffy beanie with like a little pom-pom at the top. I really like how the sketch was looking. Everything was going to plan so far. After I finished the sketch, I decided to kind of swatch my Fineliners and how they interacted with the watercolor, so I knew which one to go in with first, because I wanted to know if they bled or anything when you added watercolors to it. And to my surprise, they bled absolutely nothing. Like, I added a load of water, a load of ink, a load of watercolor, and they didn't move. They didn't bleed at all. And this was like seconds after I like put down the ink from the Fineliners, and they didn't. I was shook. Okay guys, like these Fineliners are my new favorite thing ever. So with this information, I went through and I, you know, did my line work for my drawing. I lined everything, and this is also really good practice for Inktober, because for my Inktober I'm going to be doing a lot of line work specifically. I decided to keep the theme very simple with just some black Fineliners. So this is great practice for that as well. Honestly, I'm still like shocked about how amazing these Fineliners are. Like, they didn't bleed at all with watercolors, and I like at all. And they have sizes that go down from 0.05 up to 0.8. So they have really, really fine little lines for like the smallest details, and I'm obsessed. So obsessed. And I actually even just really enjoyed how this looked just with the line art. I think it looked really adorable and very, you know, aesthetic. I also forgot to add like the little freckles in the end, because I didn't do them with my Fineliner, so in the end I completely forgot they were there. Another thing I'll say is when you try to rub it out, like nothing smudges at all. Like these pens are just, they are not going anywhere. Like the ink just stays wherever you put it down. It's amazing. So then I went in, added some more details with my thinner Fineliners, like the little ribbed marks on the beanie and the jacket. And honestly, I was loving this. I was like, okay, so far we're doing really good. Okay, let's keep this train moving. And so we went in next with the little clouds. So I added some like little cloud details in the background, but just some very, you know, simple stuff. And then it was finally time for the watercolors. And we'd already established, right, that the watercolors were great. The colors were shockingly amazing, but I wanted to see how they interacted with mixing colors. So I tried to mix up some like purples and blues to like give a little gradient in the sky, and honestly, again, I had nothing to say. They were just really, really good. And I'll be honest, I'm not really used to having a watercolor pan with so many colors. I'm used to using very limited colors and mixing my own colors myself. So I had a lot of fun trying to use at least the colors that were already given to me. But I will say a lot of the colors were kind of very similar, and I'd say very like, I didn't see the use of them being there. I mean, it's great because you've got a lot of color, but I just feel like some of the colors could have been switched out for, you know, something else. I just think that they were all very similar. It's not exactly a complaint, it's just an observation really. But I really enjoyed the colors that came in the pan. It's a lot of colors that I haven't seen in a lot of other pans myself personally. So it was very interesting to play around with these colors. Again, I decided to go for a lot of the warmer colors just for the face, because in the cold people do get a little red and everything. But for everything else, I decided to go for the blue hues, because that's what you guys decided. So the coat and the shirt and the beanie are all like kind of bluish and stuff like that. I was kind of really enjoying how this was turning out. I had a lot of fun, I'll say, making this a lot of fun. It was just really interesting seeing how when you have no say in the matter, how you can still kind of make things work in your favor. Even though I had no decisions in the making of this, or the planning at least, of this drawing, I still managed to make something that I was really proud of, and that was very cool, I guess. So I just kept going in with my watercolors, and can we just notice like how there was no bleed? Again, I'm gonna keep mentioning this. I am amazed at how these Fineliners are, like, honestly. Of course, the links to everything I used in this video are going to be down there if you guys are interested in them. I honestly am shocked at the quality of these Art and Fly products. I really, really am. And yeah, like, they sent me some of these products, but like, this is some really good stuff. I didn't actually like get to using the big brush. I only used the medium and the small one, but the quality, man, honestly, I'm amazed. They're really, really good. And they're pink, which is always a plus. And another thing I'll say about the watercolors that I'm really like, it was something also that kind of surprised me, was like they have like these little sponges on the sides to like, I'm assuming it's to clean your brushes, and I thought it was like a really cute detail that I hadn't seen in like any sort of watercolor pans yet, so that was cool. And then I went in with my white ink pens, and I mean, I will say they're good. They do the job, but they're not very opaque. I will say that there are some more opaque pens out there on the market, but for their price, I think they're pretty good. They do the job. I feel like they also do get more opaque as time goes by, and also I didn't really try them out with anything else rather than my watercolors, although I did swatch them on top of like markers and alcohol pens, and they were super bright. So I think it just really depends what you're drawing on top of with the white pens. So yeah, guys, with that said, this is the final piece for what you guys asked for me to draw. And again, a little review at the end. Watercolor brushes, amazing. Fineliners, even more amazing. Love those a lot. The watercolors were really good. I think for the price they're amazing. And the white pens were okay. They weren't the best thing that came from this video, but they were good. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye!